Hello, my name is Rocio, and this is my video for Project 1. So for this project, I chose the animation Star vs. the Forces of Evil. And I found this show about 3 years ago when I was 16, and I was looking for something to put on as background noise while I did my homework. And I found this show and I thought it'd be a good show to see without having to focus on it or anything. But I ended up liking the show and I ended up watching all the seasons until it ended in 2019. And around that time I felt kind of alone, so this show made me laugh a lot, so that's why I liked it. And then I looked up the creator, Daru Nefsi, and at first I thought that was a boy, and no, it turns out she is a woman, and she was the second woman to ever animate a show for Disney television, and that was so cool and inspired me. And when I entered my second year of college, I was changing my major, and I remembered how this show made me feel, and I wanted to do that. I wanted to create something like that, and so I changed to animation, and that's what I'm currently doing. And so Star vs. the Forces of Evil is about a girl, Star Butterfly, who is sent to live on Earth because she's just learning magic. She's 14, and she doesn't really know how to control it well, so she's sent to a safe place, which is Earth, and she gets to go live with this Latino family, Diaz, and her roommate, who ends up being her best friend, is Marco, and they're both 14. And he helps her along the way. He helps her learn the ways of Earth, and whenever like the evil forces come and try and take her magic, try to attack her, Marcos helps her and backs her up. And Marco is just a very supportive friend, and they are both good role models, which was the purpose of this show. Star is very independent and strong, and at the same time is very vulnerable and shows her emotions, but she stays optimistic throughout the entire time, which is something you don't always see with strong female characters. And Marco is very sensitive, but at the same time strong, and he loves what he loves without apologizing for it. He loves like a specific boy band that comes out during this show. He like loves them and doesn't care what anyone thinks, just loves them. And he is just himself. At one point, Star is worried about becoming queen and says how she doesn't want people to take care of her and tell her what to do, and then Marco specifically says, I would love to be queen. He doesn't even say king, he says queen, like he'd love to be queen, to be pampered, to be taken care of, and he doesn't care, he just feels what he feels. And as a side note, the fact that Marco is Latino and that they included this and not as a side, like a background character, is very cool, because as it was pointed out by one of my other classmates, that Disney doesn't really have that, like many cultures at all, but Latino isn't one of them. And they do it very well, they do it in a very respectful way, and it shows that he's Latino, and I like it. I'm Latina too, so I think it's pretty cool. And so whenever I see this show, I'm reminded of how hard women have to fight to get good representation on television. The movements that have been brought about this hardship are sometimes seen as a joke or a trend, and some people, instead of trying to change it, they just wait for it to fade away. So those who actively fight against feminism, they don't understand, or they have met a feminist who doesn't entirely understand what other women are trying to do, like get equal pay or to be respected, to basically be seen as humans as we are. And so the show evolves with each season, and it shows kids that you're gonna go through hardships and bad things are gonna happen sometimes. It's all about how you react to it. And like, I connected it with feminism because the protagonist is Star, and it follows her journey throughout all this. There's a point where she is given charge of the entire kingdom, like it all falls onto her because her mom goes missing. And there's this council of magical beings who are watching the butterfly family and who keep watching Star specifically because she thinks she's too young and she doesn't know what to do and she's gonna mess up. And like that's a lot how it is in our world. Like, sometimes women are watched like that because they think we're weak, or because they think we can't do this stuff that a lot of them are definitely qualified for. And so for children to see something like that in Star, she gives people the benefit of the doubt, and almost all the time it turns out to be like a good thing. She helps people. She's very strong for someone so young. And the council had no reason to be afraid of her or to think she was going to ruin everything, because she doesn't. And even when she makes a mistake, she owns up to it, and she tries her very best to fix it. And that's a very important thing to show kids. And Marco follows her this entire time and never leaves her side and never tries to upstage her or try to take over anything. Like, it's always Marco saying, "Hey Star, what do you need? What do you want me to do?" And sometimes men or boys aren't shown like that in shows for kids. They're shown as okay, I'm gonna do this now, and I'm gonna take over, and I'm gonna do whatever I think is right. And in the show, it's not like that. There, instead of one being bigger than the other, it's a partnership, and they're together. And I think that's a very good thing to show kids, to change the social norm, to see each other as partners and not as rivals. And another reason I think this show can inspire people is because, again, it shows a woman as a creator. Disney has had a long history with women not being in charge of anything. They were mostly, they would just like draw the cartoons and stuff, but they would never lead it. And another classmate of mine showed me this strike that happened in 1941 with Disney's animation studio in California. They weren't being paid right. The movies that came out at the time, Pinocchio and Fantasia, they didn't do well in the box office, so that a lot of them had to be laid off, and that made a lot of people mad because there wasn't a very good way of paying people. So head screenwriters would be paid like $300, and then other people would be paid like $12, and so they got really mad and they went on strike. And it went on for about 5 weeks, and Disney got mad. Walt Disney got mad, and he fired a bunch of them. And then one of the unions came up, and they convinced him to be like, "You can't do this. You have to hire them back, and you have to start paying them right. You got to start treating them right." So he did, but as like a backlash, he spread a rumor saying they were all communist, and a lot of them got blacklisted. And that's just not okay. And the fact that Nefsi was only the second animator to create an animated show, and it came out 2015, that's only 4 years ago, and the strike happened in 1941. I think that's just crazy. But I just hope that kids see it the way I did, because during this project I began to see this animation, this show differently. I saw it from a creator's point of view and not from an audience point of view. And I understood what she wanted to do with this, and I thought it was great, and I thought it was amazing. And I hope other kids see it that way too. They can do anything they need, anything they want, if they set their mind to it, and there's no limitation on what they can do. And I hope whoever sees this show gets something out of it, even if it's only a laugh. Thank you.